So today's Thursday throwback story is in honor of my mom's birthday today. This is a story about my mom. It's a story about the time she went to work and she was expecting me to go on a school bus and I didn't. Well, this was several years. This was a while ago, a long time. Well, I don't want to say a long time ago because it makes it feel like 20 years ago, but it was back in I don't know 2009 or something. So my mom was working at McDonald's, and I don't know where my sister was. I think she was at my father's house or something, or she was up. No, she used to go already to school because she used to go to another school. She would be going to another school, so she was already on the bus, or she was taking the bus to go to that school. But before she went to the school district I went to, she was going to a different school. It's called CB Tech. It was called BOCES in Plattsburgh. So she was going there. So I would get on around the same time that she would be going there, and I would be getting on the bus. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think. I think I was going to the on the bus around maybe 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think it was 7:30 because they changed times around with the bus and everything. So my mom had to go to work for 7. No, she had to go to work for 8 o'clock. So I think it was like 7:30 or something. I was getting on the bus. So she left early. She went to work. And I don't know. I used to always didn't want to go to school all the time. I didn't like going to school. I had a lot of absences at school because I just didn't like school at all. Some kids used to bully me at school, especially when I was in sixth grade, because he used to wear bracelets and stuff. And some kids used to say awful things. And I would just not go to school because of it. Not all the time. I wouldn't take off every time. But about every month, I would have a couple days off of school. So it actually did affect my schooling a little bit because I would choose to take a couple days off, and the school would always call and stuff. They say, "Oh, where's Josh?" And my mom would say, "Well, he's having a bad day. There was a kid at school that was picking on him and stuff." And I didn't like going to school at around that time. And then when I started in seventh grade, I didn't mind, but I didn't like going to school in sixth grade. I don't know. Nobody really bullied me after that. Everybody was my friend after sixth grade, but sixth grade, I just felt like I didn't want to go to school at all. So a lot of times out of the months of the school year, I would uh, take the days off and stuff, and it counted up to, you know, my grade was getting a little bit down because, or my grades and everything were getting down because I wasn't, going to school. And some of my teachers kind of realized that I was getting bullied, and some of them tried to stop it, but um, it resolved on its own. The bullying resolved on its own after a while because I got more friends, and bullies were not picking on me anymore, really. But when I started sixth grade, I didn't really, uh, I really didn't like school. But anyway, it's not about that. But it's about when the reason that was one of the reasons why I didn't go to school is because of like kids were picking on me. But my mom thought I was going to school. She thought I was going to school, and I waited until she left, and I called her, and I told her, I'm like, Mom, I missed the school bus. She got mad and everything, but then she realized that I was getting bullied at school and stuff. Um, but yeah, I waited until she left, and I acted like I had diarrhea or something. Actually, kind of did. Wasn't feeling that good either, but I could have probably just stuck it out through school. I could have just went to school, but I decided to stay home. I waited until she left, and I stayed home. And yeah, she came home around 3 o'clock. No, not 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock because she would work until we got off the school bus. So I was home alone for a little while before she got home when I got off the school bus. Because she tried to get home at the timely manner, but my sister would go to my father and stepmother's house, or she would go to a learning center or something. And at that time, I was old enough to stay by myself, so my aunt was across the road. So if I needed anything during that time my mom was gone, my aunt would be across the road. But anyway, so that's a funny story about the time that I told my mom I was going to go to school, but I didn't. And yeah, so